A few years ago, I was going through one of the most challenging times of my life, and it felt like the whole world was working against me at every turn. I was praying, researching, and searching desperately for answers when I came across this set of questions in a book titled Your Next Five Moves by Patrick Bet David. Little did I know that those set of questions would end up transforming my life in ways I could never have imagined. The only instructions were go somewhere quiet and keep asking these questions and don't leave until you find some answers. And that is exactly what I did. Despite my busy schedule, I will wake up early in the morning, sometimes 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and after my morning prayers, for the next 2, 3, 4 hours, I will dive deep into this set of questions with just my diary, my journal, a piece of paper, and a pen, and I would just be asking these questions, digging deep into my soul and my mind and coming up with answers. It was an intense process. There were moments of tears, frustration, disappointment, but it was also filled with moments of joy and excitement. Because you know what? As I kept pushing and asking these questions, it wasn't long until I started seeing patterns emerging. I began to recognize the roots of the problems that I was facing. And more interestingly, I could pinpoint the problems and I could call them by name. I could give name to the issues. And this is very important because there is nothing as frustrating as having a problem but not knowing what the problem is. It was such a fruitful exercise. You see, not only was I able to have a clear picture of the future that I want, but I was also able to evaluate and to know where I was at that time. Where are you right now? You see, if you were lost and needed to find your way home, it's not only important for you to know where you want to go, but it's equally important for you to know where you are currently. And that is exactly what this exercise helped me achieve. I became clear with what I want and also with where I am right now. I also became very clear with the question of what kind of life do you want to live? Actually, the most amazing part of this exercise was when I came to the realization that all the answers I was looking for were already within me and that I was the only one that can fix my life. I ran with this knowledge and I finally was able to put things together with myself. This self-audit exercise was a game changer in my life, and I know it will be a game changer in your life too. You see, my dear friend, all the leaders, the athletes, the disruptors, the world changers that you and I admire, they didn't get there by just, luck alone. All these people had to face themselves with courageous vulnerability, addressing the fears and the limiting beliefs holding them back. And now it's your turn to evaluate and address those limiting factors in your life. In this video, not only have I distilled the most important questions for you, I've also put the questions in different categories. And the different categories are self-perception, spiritual reflection, purpose and value, your performance at work, relationship and emotions, and finally, accountability and growth. Now I know we tend to overuse the phrase, this will change your life, but I'm speaking from my own personal experience when I tell you that this self-audit radically transformed my life. All right, now I'm going to share the questions with you, and they're going to come category by category, okay? I will encourage that you pause the video and really reflect on each set of questions. Now, I only have two instructions for you. Instruction number one, be honest with yourself. The only right answer is the honest answer. I am not going to see your answers. No one else will see your answers but you. So be honest with yourself. The key here is to approach this with complete honesty. Okay? Instruction number two. I would encourage that you consider writing down your thoughts and answers. As writing things down gives clarity in ways that just thinking about those things really doesn't. Are you ready? Okay, let's dive right in. For the sake of those who are getting this information by way of audio, I'm going to read out the questions for you. Self-perception and finances. How do you think others perceive you? How do you perceive yourself? How would you describe your personality? Do you manage your money, your financial affairs and records well? Do you have the money to do the things you love to do and to accomplish the things that are important to you? Will you say that your financial future feels robust and sustainable? Category 2: Spiritual reflections. Number 1: Do you feel close to God or distant from God? And what might be hindering your intimacy with Him? Number 2: How do you intentionally pursue spiritual growth? Number 3: Do you use your spiritual gifts and talents to serve God and His people? If so, how? Number 4: How often do you engage in activities that nourish your spirit and soul? Third category: Your peak performance or your performance at work. Number 1: What conditions or circumstances bring out the best version of yourself? Number 2: Do you love your job or the work that you do? Number 3: Do you feel like your talents and skills are well used in your work? Next, do you enjoy your work environment and the people with whom you work? Next, how do you handle pressure at work? And finally, describe a 90-day period when you were the most driven to succeed. What motivated you then? Next category: accountability and growth. Number 1: Do you feel entitled to things without earning them? Number 2: Do you have the tendency to blame others for your lack of effort or discipline? If so, why? Next, how often do you challenge your own vision and perspective in order to improve it? Next, how generous are you with your finances, your knowledge, your time, and your skills? Next, are you effective in setting and achieving personal goals? Next, do you regularly engage in self-reflection to understand your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior? Next category: relationships and emotions. Number 1: Who do you turn to most when you are struggling or in a challenging situation? Number 2: Who do you secretly envy, though no one else knows? Why do you envy them, and what is stopping you from becoming like them? Number 3: What type of people annoy you the most, and why? Number 4: What type of people do you like the most, and why? Number 5: What qualities do you most admire in others? Next, what brings out the worst in you, and why? Next, what brings out the best in you, and why? Next, do you have a handful of great friends? Next, will you say that you are a good friend and that you always make yourself available to your friendships? Next, will you say that your friendships nourish you and sustain you? And finally, are you supported and understood by the majority of your friends and family members? Next category: purpose and values. Number 1: What do you value the most in business and in life? Number 2: How connected do you feel to a sense of meaning and purpose in your life? Number 3. What do you fear the most in life and why? Number 4. What accomplishments are you most proud of and why? Next, who do you want to become? And finally, what kind of life do you want to live? Okay, thank you. That brings us to the end of these questions. If you're interested in the next part of this self-evaluation series, then click on this video. If you did find value in this video, go ahead and click on the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click on that subscribe button. Thank you. I love you, and God bless you.